Great value from the upcoming banner, but is it worth your stones? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the next Dokkan Fest to come to Global Dokkan, and that's the Dokkan Fest Turles, and determine whether or not him and his banner are worth your hard-earned stones. As always, when we make this determination, we look at three things. Number one, the unit itself. Is the unit strong enough to carry the weight of your stones? Number two, we look at the banner. What is on the banner, and is there any value to be had there? And number three, we look at what lies ahead. Should you choose to summon on this banner, what are you giving up in the possible future? So, when these banners drop in about 18 hours from us dropping this video, the video should be up by 2 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, and the banners will be dropping at 8:30 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on October 4th. So, about 18 hours from now, we should be seeing this banner. So, let's go ahead, let's kick things off, and let's take a look at number one. Turles. So Turles is a space traveling warriors, pure Saiyans, category key 3, HP attack defense 170%. He gets an additional 30% for characters who also belong on planetary destruction and low class warriors. So we have another pure Saiyans lead. Always a good leader skill, although for his 200%, very limited to basically certain Friezas and evil Saiyans like the Nappas and the Saiyan Saga Vegetas, for example, and obviously other members of Turles and his army. So all in all, not a terrible leader skill, could be better, but it's still got pretty good coverage. On his passive, if there's a Goku's family category enemy or an enemy whose name includes Gohan Kid, at the start of the character's attacking turn, he activates an interest animation once only, which gives key 3 and 18% to all allies for the rest of battle. His attack and defense is 160. He gets percent. He also gets an additional 60% attack and launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack when HP is 50% or more. He also gets an additional 100% when performing a super attack, and he gets key 2 up to 8 and reduces damage by 5% up to 20, and an additional 40% up to 160 with each super attack performed. He has effective against all types and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack from the 6th attack he does in battle. So all in all, a great passive. He does have an interest animation that is very difficult to activate. There's very few events in the game that will allow you to activate the Goku's family portion, and even fewer that will allow you to activate the Gohan Kid portion. But even without that extra 18% attack, which is helpful, he's still quite good. He's getting a lot of defense. He also gets some damage reduction in there to help him out, along with building defense on each damage reduction build. So he's going to be pretty tanky post super, especially after a turn or two. He also has the ability to raise his attack infinitely on his 12 key super attack, so that is very helpful. That means as the fight goes on, the longer it goes on, the stronger he gets. He does have an active skill that can be activated when there's a Goku's family category enemy, or an enemy whose name includes Gohan from the 3rd turn, or from the 6th turn from start of battle. The active skill is very simple. It simply greatly raises his attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage. Very simple attack, but it is effective. It does end up doing a lot of damage, especially after he's had a stack or two. So all in all, looking at the unit here, I would give the unit a thumbs up in the category of summon. I would definitely say the unit itself is good enough to justify the spending of your stones. He's not exactly what villains currently need in a post-worldwide celebration world where we have all of these Zamasus and Goku Blacks, but he is still very good for the space traveling warriors variant variant of the villain team. So very, very good there. So that leaves us to look at what is on the banner. We have one in the category for summon for the units, and so now we need to determine if the banner has any value as well. So looking at the banner here, number one, we have 2 new banner units, members of his Crusher Corps, and I would say that more so the almond and raisin over the days and cocoa. These guys are more necessary for Turles than these guys are. These guys support. They give a little bit of slot 1 coverage depending on the event, and they help him activate certain links that he's not going to otherwise get from other villain type units. So definitely a plus here. They're really, really good. These guys not as much, though, still valuable to his team if you end up pulling them. This banner has the first return of the Dokkan Fest Yamcha and the Dokkan Fest Teq Bardock. Both of these guys make their first return here on Global at this time, and it does kind of make me wonder if the reason JP ended up doing this was to help accelerate the Global and JP sync. Who knows, but barring any global shenanigans, both of these guys should be returning on the banner. Bardock is very helpful. He has a scouter as long as you have a Goku on the team, which is very, very nice. He also has one of the best entrance animations in the game, in my opinion. Yamcha, very, very good. He dodges, he deals damage, he deals a lot of damage and launches additional supers. Very, very good. We also have the AGL Turles for support and the STR Bojack. These guys have definitely begun to show their age, but if you're someone who uses items, you can still get by just fine with them on certain teams, specifically space traveling warriors. So looking at the banner, there is an insane amount of value here, especially if you're a new player and you picked up maybe LR Cooler in your summons or in Piccolo Jr. Bardock and his team members will definitely, or not Bardock, Turles and his team members will definitely help out those teams should you have pulled them. So I'm going to go ahead and give one in the category of summon for the unit and another in the category of summon for the banner. There's a lot of value to be handled here. So all that leaves now is to look at what lies ahead. All right, we are now post worldwide celebration, which means most of us are out of stones and we are having to now kind of space our stones out between now and the possibility of another synced New Year's celebration, if not a full synced game by the anniversary. So knowing what lies ahead is going to help us determine whether or not Turles is worth our stones. So first and foremost, the next banner you should see on Global Dokkan is this banner right here. This is the fantastically spooky Dokkan Festival banner. Now, it's not going to be the greatest banner ever, but it will have a lot of units that were released this year on Global. Specifically, if we follow the banner format like this banner last year, we should see Gohan and Piccolo, the New Year's unit. We should see the maybe 2 other randomly related Dokkan Fest, but importantly, we should see the Golden Week unit. So Piccolo Jr. and World Tournament Goku should be here, as well as God Goku making his first return. So if you're somebody who missed out on him on Saiyan Day, you may want to consider spending your stones to pick this guy up here. He may be better worth your time. Although if you do have the red coins, he may just be worth that instead. But something to be aware of, that this banner is coming, and if you missed out on God Goku, it might be your chance to pick him up. Moving on from there, more importantly, in November, barring any secret global shenanigans, we should be seeing this as the Thank You Celebration LR. While this banner isn't the greatest banner in the world, it does give you access to Vegeta and Trunks, the Gammas, and this Goku, who is insanely powerful. One of the best LRs in the game, up there with the LRs released in the worldwide celebration. So you do want to make sure you consider stones for this guy when he shows up. If not this guy in November, then we should see the Super Trunks in November. Could be either or either or could be the December, but either way, November, December should be one of these 2 guys. On Trunks' banner, there is a little bit of value, right? Trunks himself is very, very valuable. The STR-17, while not the greatest, can be fun to use, but it is their first return. So something to consider if you're someone like me who's a big Trunks fan. You may want to consider this banner on the horizon. And then finally, if you're someone who likes the Hero Celebration, midway through November, we will be getting the next Hero Celebration. Remember, this is a guaranteed featured crossover summon, so every time you do a multi on this banner, you're guaranteed to get one of the featured units, and if you ever get any extras, it'll be probably one of these. So very good value on these banners. They're very fun to summon on because you know you're always getting something. Plus, it's really easy to pick up multiple copies of the featured units because it is guaranteed featured. So just something to be aware of. If you're interested in heroes, know that that's coming in November. And then finally, the last thing of the year we should be concerned about is the New Year's Step Up, right? So last year, this was the New Year's Step Up. You were able to summon for 200 stones to get one Extreme or Superclass category leader that has Easy Aid. Everyone on this list has now Easy Aid. On your second step for 30 stones, right? So that first step was 20 stones. On your second step of 30 stones, you are guaranteed one of these original LRs. On the third step, you were guaranteed a year prior's Dokkan Fest. Finally, after that, a 200% leader. Basically, all of the Dokkan Fest from the current year at that time, and then one guaranteed LR from this list here. Obviously, as we move into this year's Step Up, this list will change. This pool might get a little bigger. This pool will probably still be the same because it's basically the OG LRs, but this pool will probably be switched to 2022 units, with this pool being 2023 units, and then updated LR list here. More than likely what it's going to look like, and if it's a great way to pick up units that you have been missing over the years. Obviously veteran players need not worry about this, but for newer players, it's one of the biggest value banners to be had outside of those worldwide banners that you can summon for with the tickets. So something to be aware of. So knowing what lies ahead, and then looking at Turles and his banner, and knowing that we also have the possibility of another New Year's shared celebration and the possibility of a shared sync anniversary on the horizon, I can't really give Turles my full thumbs up in the context of what's coming. Turles and himself are great. His banner is pretty good value for a new player, but knowing that you could instead spend those stones, say for like here for full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, or even for the New Year's step ups coming, I don't know that I can give his banner a full pass. So I'm going to go ahead and say no on this. So taking all of that into consideration, and the fact that we are likely to get some discounts on this banner, we may or we may not. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tier my recommendation. If you're coming off the worldwide celebration and you're 800 stones or greater, meaning you've got 800 stones left from your worldwide, I would say if the banner has discounts, go ahead and do your discounts. If you are 500 or lower, I would say steer clear of this banner. Go ahead and keep saving those stones for the possibility of either full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, or a shared New Year celebration, which we should be getting some new LRs, or even continue to build your stones for this banner here, the New Year Step Up, especially if you are a newer player. It is worthy of note that in the data download, it did show that there are two kinds of tickets for this banner: regular Dokkan Fest tickets and a premium Dokkan ticket. So that premium ticket is probably the premium one where it's a 20 unit multi with a guaranteed featured. So if you're a pay-to-play, low-to-play player, that is definitely something worthy of your time, because you can then save your stones and possibly pull him with a guaranteed feature. But I don't think you should go beyond that unless you are, as I said, with that 800 stones or greater. Now there is the possibility that, be like they've done in years past, we might get like 7 tickets as a Halloween gift that you can then use on the banner, but it's hit or miss. Some years they do it, some years they don't. So just something worthy of consideration. So that is it for the video. That is my recommendation on whether or not you should summon for Turles. There is value, but the overall value unfortunately does not outweigh what is coming in the future. So unless you have more than 800 stones, I don't advise you summon on this banner. That is just my opinion, but I would love to hear your opinion in the comments down below. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what are you planning to do? Is Turles a summon or a skip for you? Might you try to pull him in one of his banner units? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.